Hi again. My name is Rebel and I'm the Rebel Reseller, and we're late. We're late on these videos. We just came back from a week-long trip to Missouri, and y'all, we found an amazing yard sale. Like a
No, no, no,
highway.
no. We're not going to tell anybody where it was because it's ours. We're keeping it. Y'all don't get to go.
Just look at last weekend, Kentucky, Tennessee. Kentucky, Tennessee. It was an amazing yard sale. And we had to zip through it because we were doing a drive to Missouri, which took us 14 hours to get there. It was a long day.
It was like an oval. We did about half of it. It's Glasgow,
Yeah.
Kentucky is one end of it.
Yeah. Amazing. I just happened to see an ad in Facebook about it. And we knew we were going to be leaving that Friday morning. So we just kind of headed in that direction. Found some amazing treasures. And next year I really want to go and figure. But y'all, it's way out in the boonies. I don't even know if you can find hotels.
For us, we normally, depending on the traffic, how the GPS sends us, one of the main way we go is through, Knoxville through Nashville. And we got to about Cookeville, Tennessee, which was between Knoxville and Nashville, and we turned north and went up to whatever the town, Salina, Tennessee, and we hit that, and then we took like the left side of the yard sale route up to Glasgow, Kentucky. And it was a nice, pretty drive and a lot of stops.
A lot of stops. And, I've become disenfranchised with like the Highway 127 sale and technically even Peaches to Beaches. It just had turned into, I don't know, vendors with not great prices.
Overpriced flea market stuff is what a lot of them have turned into, it seems like. And this one was decent. They had a lot. There were
a lot of tent cities.
Yes. And they were generally relatively small, but they had okay prices for the most part. Not all of them.
But we found a lot of good stuff, so I was happy. And so next year, that's on the agenda. Next year. So we'll have to remember, it's the weekend after. Hopefully Ben's thing will be about the same time, the reseller meetup, and it'll be the next weekend. So
sure.
Yeah. It was fun. And then we went and spent time with family and the Benz. And the Benz was really, really good the first day. Second day, but the first day, y'all, one stop. I'll have to get Robert to post a picture of the three major treasures I found at the one stop at the Benz in Bridgeton.
And it was like we were there for less than an hour, I think.
Less than an hour. Major bolos. So, all right, let me go ahead and share with you what sold. Nothing on Etsy, but y'all, I have not been focusing on Etsy at all. And at this point, it's fourth quarter. eBay's lackluster, and I just really don't have the oomph to cross-list very much. So we did make our first sale in Poshmark, but it wasn't this week. So it'll be in a next video.
How's the Mercari cross-listing going?
I didn't realize there's $100 limit. I mean, 100 listing limit when you open up a new Mercari account. Because, like we've explained, Robert opened some accounts in his name. And
just in case I ever get the urge to collect life insurance. I mean, in case anything ever happens to Rebel.
That's a previous video. But yeah, there's a limit on Mercari, and he hit the limit today. You can only do 100, and I'm not sure when, because we ain't sold a single thing there. I don't know when that's going to get opened back up. Maybe hopefully it's a time thing and not a sales thing. So let me share with you things that sold in my eBay store, and then I think I had like 4 things that Robert sold in his store.
Before she gets started, tomorrow, this is October the 12th, so October 13th, 10 a.m. Eastern, we're going to be doing our live on the other channel. So if you got time, hop in and join us. If you don't have time, you can watch it later and hit the replay button.
10 o'clock Eastern.
And on this one, hit the like button. Leave a comment.
Or an emoji. All right, first thing that sold, finally, Dakin RCA Nipper Dog Plush. This was the large 24-inch one. Sold for $35.95. Which reminds me, Y'all, I'm serious about getting rid of stuff. So what I have been doing probably for the last week or 10 days, every day when I'm doing my end and sell similars, all of this old stuff, I am drastically dropping the prices. Drastically. A lot of like the bear plush, $9.95. Just hopefully I can get a lot of this sold in the next 3 months during fourth quarter, because at the end of December, my Anchor store subscription ends and I'm not going to renew it. I'm below the threshold where it's feasible, necessary, I guess. So I'm going to be dropping it, but I'm still at that point where, if I list quite a bit, I'm going to be hitting the upper edge of it. So I'm hoping to sell a bunch of this, but if nothing else, probably going to get rid of another 1,000 items out of my store. The bears is what is my nemesis. I still have a lot, even though I already probably got rid of 1,000. But I'm hoping dropping all the prices just to $9.95. And, hopefully over the next 3 months, they're going to sell. Get gone. But this was one of those things. I probably had it listed for $49 and I dropped it to $39. And literally, as soon as I dropped the price, I ended up selling it for the $35.95. Oh, look where we dropped this. Nevertheless, yes, it's cut off. The screen was all wacky. Hopefully I can read them all. Busia, I think is it. It is a Christmas stocking, one of those felt stockings. The kits ended up selling for $15. Aurora Dexter, the brown dog plush, sold for $11.66. Caltoy brown dog plush sold for $11.66. A lot of bread and butter out the door. Just listed this. It sold probably in like 2 weeks. It is a Walmart Easter Mallard duck plush, 17 inches tall, sold for $17.95. IKEA. Oh, we spent a lot of time in IKEA this week. I just love that. So it's probably a good thing I don't live near an IKEA, because my whole house would be decorated in IKEA. But I ended up finding 2 of these, I think on this last trip when we went up to New York through Ohio. Picked up the large husky dog plush and then found one of the puppies, put them together. This sold immediately. Same day I listed it, $26.95. Fisher Price Little People. The count is from from a box of Little People stuff I picked up, but I don't think it was from the thrift store lot that I just picked up. I'm not remember quite, but I had 3 big birds listed, so I decided to take 2 of them down. I had a count in another figure. I made 2 sets of 2, and this one again sold the same day I listed it, $17.95. I am all about making lots right now. Clark's sandals, black leather, sold for $29.95. Sesame Street Elmo phone. Yeah, I didn't realize that these sell as well as they do. I pass them up all the time. They're battery operated. Are they going to work? This one had been in my profit pile for a while. I probably picked it up at some point at the bins. It was in good condition, so I went ahead and listed it. And again, like 5 days, sold for $26.95. So definitely be keeping your eyes out for this particular Elmo's World phone. Bucky's Beaver. Again, these were picked up, I think, on our last trip. Neither one of them was going to sell for a whole lot, so let's make a lot, right? And they sold same day I listed them, $13.45. Stuffin's Devil Monster plush. Again, it was one of those ones. I dropped the price, relisted it, and it sold in 1 day, $19.50. Whitman's Russell Stover's Knit Fox plush, Probably came with a box of chocolate attached to it. $11.66. I bought a bunch of these several years ago, paid 50 cents each at an estate sale, sold a few of them for a lot of money, and then I've had 2 or 3 that have just sat. Again, lowered the price, sold in 4 days, $22.45. Ralph Lauren Polo Brixton men's jeans sold for $20. Again, same day I listed it. This is my first Sony cassette player. I had it sitting here for a while because I couldn't hear to see if it worked. I knew that it would run a tape, but was it really working? So I finally found an old Xbox, like an old Xbox headset, and I was able to play the tape, put the camera microphone up to the thing to show that it was actually playing and had sounds. And then it sold immediately, $36. I'm probably not going to pick this stuff up anymore. You know, it's just kind of been one of those things, unless it's like some of the high dollar ones that we sold. These Black & Deckers and like the Cuisinart ice cream things, they just take forever to sell. This has been listed for at least 3 years. Finally sold. The lid to a food processor, $13.45. And it takes space. All right, this Disney Parks Grumpy coffee mug. I think this was not a bins pickup, a yard sale pickup. Sold for $22.45. Anytime I find Woody or Jesse's hats in the bins, I pick them up. Kids are forever losing them. Just make sure that you show the proper measurements, because these hats go on varying sizes of dolls. This one was one of the, I think, the larger hats. Sold for $8.96. Again, a very quick sell. Madewell women's jeans button fly sold for $25.81. This is the second set of these that sold. This is from the large lot of like Fisher Price Little People accessories, the vintage stuff that I picked up at a thrift store. Paid $65 for all of it. Sold just one car for $100. So all of this is profit at this point. This set of 4 cars sold for $19.95. Gunned Happy Birthday Bears. Made a lot, and they sold $10.76. Sanrio Hello Kitty clicking camera, just like doll size camera. It did take over a year to sell, $22.45. I even show pictures down here. Look, you know, put your camera lens really close to like kaleidoscopes or this type of stuff. The viewers on like the Viewmasters, and you can show pictures of what you're seeing when you look through the little camera eye. Oneida Bancroft flatware knives, set of 4, sold for $15.25. Alien plush chest burster. I picked this up at the same estate sale where I picked up all of those kitty kittens. I've sold, I want to say 3 or 4. I sold the bunny. So yeah, it's done very well for me. This little bendable plush sold very quickly, $26.95. I think he was 2 at that estate sale. Levi's 515 women's bootcut jeans sold for $15. Jimmy Easter Chick and Duck musical plush. You know, it sat here for a while because I just wasn't testing a lot of this stuff. I was just trying to push through a lot of plush and not take the time to test a bunch of these others. And then one day I spent probably an hour just doing one battery operated thing after another, And this sold probably in less than 2 weeks, $22.45. Tie beanie, Hello Kitty plush. You know, I still pick them up. They're mostly bread and butter, but the Hello Kitties, the Sanrios, they tend to sell still pretty quickly. This one sold for $8.96. Ralph Lauren women's long sleeve shirt sold for $26.71. Wish Pets Buttercup Brown Horse Plush sold for $13.45. Prestige Purple Bat Rattle Plush sold, nice sale, $35.95. Y'all, I think I had this listed originally for like $60, dropped the price, and it sold in about 5 days. I think this might be my best sell of that 4-day time period. This was a Galoob baby face doll. Now, originally I had her in clothes that weren't original to her. That's how I had picked her up at the bins. And she just wasn't selling. And somebody sent me a message that says, take the clothes off. You're going to do better selling her without the clothes on. And I did. And it sold in about 3 weeks. This is one of the baby face dolls. I found probably 4 or 5 of them last year. I love them. And it sold for $51. And this would have been a bins pickup. So I might have $2 or $3 in her. Brass claw bell, just from that big, large brass slot that we picked up several years ago, sold for $14.36. Don't have much left. Vintage Star Wars Play-Doh molds. It was Leia, R2-D2, and Darth Vader. They were from 1978. Anytime I find like Play-Doh molds in like the bins, I always tend to still go ahead and look at a lot of them to make sure there's not character ones. I have found Teletubbies before, these Star Wars, Sesame Street ones. They all tend to do well. So it's sometimes worth going ahead and just opening them up, making sure that it's not something very unique. These sold for $15. Scentsy Buddies, probably not something I'm going to continue to pick up. This one was listed about 3 months, sold for $17.95. I know there's exceptions, so always check comps when you find a Scentsy Buddy, but for the most part, they take a long time to sell. These were from that vintage Little People set that I picked up. These are the bunk beds. You have to be careful with them because there's a top and obviously a top and a bottom, and they fit a particular way. If you're not paying attention, you might try to claim that, you know, 2 tops are a set. It's not. One of mine actually had some damage to it. I just noted it. And it sold in 1 day for an offer of $15. Carter's White Rabbit plush with the little teether ring. Again, bread and butter sell. $8.96. Another one of those things, I dropped the price and it sold. Wrangler men's jeans black sold for $17.71. Winnie the Pooh rattle plush from Dream International, another bread and butter, $8.96. And last but not least, a Wild Republic wolf plush sold for $11.66. Now for Roberts, Vigos women's capri jeans sold for $16.68. Talbot's bootcut jeans sold for $15. Old Navy men's loose fit jeans sold for $23. I think these had their original price tag still. I still do not list them as new. I always just say unused, but in the pre-owned category. Joe Marlin's men's Hawaiian shirt. I mentioned in the past, I have started moving some of our inventory from my store, which is a toy store, over to his store, which is going to be a clothing store. And this was one of those items. And it sold, let me look here real quick. It sold in like a week for $13.21. But it's funny thing is, it's been in my store for over a year. Never did sell. Move it to his store. It's like he's getting more better views or something. I don't know.
Or is the ending and selling similar really doing a lot?
Because I'm doing it to yours too.
But did you end and sell similar to that item? Or you just cross-listed it new? And because it's a brand new item and not an ended and sells, hey, you ended and sold similar, ended and sell similar on it, is that, we don't know the algorithm, but eBay at one point said that helped. Now they're saying it doesn't. Is this a sign that maybe it's not helping as much? Or did it just finally meet the right buyer?
Yeah. I don't know. You know, I had somebody make a comment in one of our latest videos that said that they're concerned too that eBay has done something that maybe is going to penalize your store if you keep doing end and sell similar. I don't think so, but she said she's testing it. And if you're watching this video, please let us know if you see a difference between the months that you have been doing end and sell similar and then the month that you didn't. And it may take longer than a month to figure this all out. I've even thought about not doing end and sell similar in your store and see if we see. But it's so new, I think it would be hard to tell.
Probably.
So, I don't know. I don't know, because eBay is definitely pushing not doing that. Last thing that sold in his store, again, was another thing I've moved from my store. It is a vintage Cincinnati Bengals sweatshirt, and it sold for a best offer of $30. All right, hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope your sales are picking up. Mine's just kind of okay. Okay, but not fourth quarter okay. So, you know, I don't know. Don't know. I plan on spending the next couple of weeks dealing with this, because in the other room is all the stuff we just picked up. I'm hoping it picks up. I'm doing more new listings every day just because I'm processing so much. And hopefully I'm going to start seeing an increase. And fingers crossed, y'all. Let's just put it out there. I need to sell a couple of these Sasha dolls. Let's just put it out there. Sasha dolls. All right, get to work. Bye.